Shalom, 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 Israel. It's August 15th, 2021. Hope y'all doing well. Happy Sunday. This is going to be a quick video. Not going to really get too deep into this at this time. I may do a follow-up for this topic, but this is one I've been running into, particularly over the last week. Um, Conversations have to be had. And what I'm discovering is a difference from being aware of the truth. You know you're Israel. You have a basic understanding, a very basic understanding that you are Israel. That you're Judah, that you're Benjamin, that you're Levi, you're Gad, and so forth. You're aware of that. You're aware of that fact. There's a difference between that's your awareness, you're aware of it. But there's a difference between being aware of the truth and walking in the truth, where you're beginning to keep the commandments. You're examining yourself. You're in that process of transforming yourself. You've put yourself in a childlike state so that's where you can learn. You're allowing somebody to teach you. You're allowing new information, you're receiving it, you're allowing it to come in. There's a difference between being aware and walking in the truth. Right? I find things fascinating at times. Um, I notice a lot of y'all who claim to be in the truth, you aren't even close. You aren't even close. You're not doing any work. You got the information, the basic understanding that we're the people, we're God's people. You got that. But you haven't begun that transformation process. You aren't keeping any command. Not you may be keeping a couple of commandments, the ones you like. You're not eating pork no more. You know, that kind of thing. But yeah, you're not wearing your fringes. Sisters don't have their hair covered. You're not dressing modestly. And you still have that spirit, that contentious spirit on you. That spirit of Eve. You still want to argue and debate. You still want to be ratchet. You still want to try to tell a man what his problem is. You want to blame the black man for you not being able to get married. I find that funny. Because numbers don't lie, sisters. And like I've been telling y'all for this last year, the war is over. The battle of the sexes is over. Y'all lost. You lost. You have less now than when y'all started the battle in the early 70s. It's over. Numbers don't lie. You're worse off than your grandmothers. You have less than your grandmothers. And that includes education. You're not more educated than your grandmother. You have less wealth than your grandmother. You're married at a significantly less rate than your grandmothers. And when you do get married, it's at a, a far greater age. You're staying married for significantly less longer than what your grandmother stayed married. Your children are born into wedlock. Your so-called education hasn't meant nothing. The average black woman makes $27,000 a year, and you're working typically in humanities. You're a nurse. You're a teacher's assistant. You're a cashier. You work in a call center. These aren't careers, ladies. Of course, there are exceptions to this rule. I'm not talking to you individually. I'm speaking to the group, all of y'all. And what I'm saying, predominantly, more times than not, fits the entire group, the majority of the group. You're a nurse. You're a phlebotomist. You work in some kind of hospice, a home health care. These aren't careers. These are jobs. These jobs typically pay between $10 and $15 an hour. Let's get real. You're out of order, sisters. You're out of order. And we're tired of talking to you. We're trying to have the conversation, but we're getting tired. We're tired of talking to y'all because you want to keep having circular arguments and make the same bullcrap points that have already been debunked. Black men get married at twice your rate, and there's less of us. We earn more money than you. And no, it's not because of sexism and all that bullshit feminism and womanism ideas that y'all have. It's because we do harder work. Period. We do the jobs y'all don't want to do. The trash men, the janitors, the construction workers. The firemen, the police. We do far more dangerous work and harder work than you. Most of your lives are you wake up, you go to work. And a large population of y'all don't even do that. But you go to work, whatever your job is. You get off of work and you go to sleep. You lay down. This is most of y'all's lives. You don't do anything else. You're not preparing yourself for the future, to be married, for a husband. That's your purpose, sisters. You were made for a man, like it or not. Don't get mad at me. You get mad at God. He made the rules. I didn't make the rules. But you were made for a man. A man was not made for you. Most of y'all sisters aren't ready to be married. You want to be married. It sounds cute. It sounds cool. You like the idea of a wedding. You like the idea of the wedding ring and the misses and the dresses. But when it comes time to doing the work, because you already should be a wife before any of that stuff happens, that's where y'all fall short. And when we try to tell you this, because the numbers show black men are putting in work. 50% of us, 51% of us, we earn $41,000 a year or more. 51% of us are in the middle class. 51% of us are childless. We aren't out here making babies out of wedlock. 50% of us are married. Y'all get married at a rate of 25%, and that number is shrinking. And when you do get married, 80% of the divorces are filed by y'all for no reasons. No credible reasons at all. You ain't want to hear what the man had to say. Your husband was bitchy. And then y'all lie. You lie over and over and over. Oh, he was whooping my ass. He was doing this. Where your police reports, ladies? Where your court records? Where your transcripts? I don't even want to see police reports no more. I want to see transcripts, because you can lie to the police. But y'all ain't gonna go up in court and lie very often. Some of y'all will. But I want to see the transcripts so that way we can see what the other side of the story was. And if you spend any time in domestic violence court or family court, you know most of it is lies from you women. Sounds good when y'all be up there testifying. Then when the man get up there and testify, we hear the truth. We hear a whole nother version. The war is over. It's time for y'all to humble down, examine yourselves, and start transforming yourselves. You can't do that. But the man, but the brothers, but, shut the fuck up. Because you're going to die alone and we're trying to save you. Because, see, black men, even though we're in captivity, even though we don't own anything, we're still the second most desirable man on the planet. Nobody is marrying y'all. It's not the brother's fault. Nobody wants you. Those marriage rates include all marriages. Nobody wants you, sisters. As a group, you're too contentious. You're too argumentative. You're not presenting a competitive version of yourself. Y'all don't think you got to do anything for a man. Nothing. Not even put your best foot forward for him anymore. At least your grandmothers did that. You don't even want to do that. You just want to wake your fat asses up and tell yourselves, I'm good enough as I am. Where's the transformation? Because by Christ commanding you to transform yourselves, he's telling you you ain't good enough. You got to do some work, sisters. The brothers is out here doing work as a group. Sure, you could point to some ain't shit dudes who ain't doing nothing. There's always exceptions, and y'all love to point those out. We're not talking about exceptions. We're talking about the group. The group is performing. Numbers don't lie. Go take a look. And most of y'all have never looked at the numbers. You don't want to know the truth because it's glaringly obvious when you start looking at the data. Y'all are the ones who've been fucking up. Men have improved themselves from their grandparents' generation. We're better than our grandfathers. We're better than our fathers' generation. As a group, we're more productive workers. We're more educated. We're higher earners when you don't adjust for inflation. It's a small percentage of men who are making all of these babies out of wedlock with y'all. It's like 20% of the men is producing 80% of these babies out of wedlock. So what does that say? Y'all keep sleeping with the same men over and over and over again. That's why these ancient dudes got 15, 20 kids that they know about. We're not talking about them, but y'all are picking them. That's what y'all like, because you like to be able to control them, because those men ain't working. Those men are not educated. They aren't. They not even walking in the truth. They not even conscious of the truth. Y'all love them type of Build-A-Bear niggas, because you can control them. You can tell them to get the fuck out your Section 8 apartment when you want them to leave. The real men, the men who are out here doing the work, we ain't dealing with y'all. You can't kick us out. We ain't dealing with Section 8 chicks. Hashtag know your worth, fellas. Stop dealing with them. Even though they lost, they still trying to fight. It's over. So either you're going to get your shit together or you're going to die alone. And that's what's happening. It's so funny. Over the last 2 weeks, I got invited to 2 Hebrew Israelite dating groups on Facebook. I don't know who invited me, but somebody invited me to 2 of them. And I was curious, like, I've never seen this before. What is this like? So I joined the groups. I made a couple of posts in the groups, like, what are you doing to prepare yourself for a wife? I even asked the brothers, what are you doing to prepare yourself for a husband, for a wife, or a sister? I asked the sisters, what are you doing to prepare yourself for a husband? Couple of answers, and all of the answers is just nonsense bullshit that you would get from anybody walking down the street. One sister talking about, I'm fixing my credit, and most of the sisters, I'm reading books and I'm studying on my own. And what the hell does fixing your credit got to do with preparing yourself to be a wife? Nothing. Men don't look for that. Ain't no man going on no first date with you, or a man thinking about taking you on a date and asking you about how are you working on your credit. That's a conversation that comes later. We're looking to see, are you cooperative? Are you friendly? Are you feminine? Those are the things we're looking for at first. Before we even decide to take you on a date, we're examining y'all to see, do you have those things? Sister told me she was walking in the truth. She been in the truth for 10 years. Well, sister, how did you just have a baby to a man who ain't your husband? That baby is 6 months. And then 6 months, it's 6 months later, you right back on a dating site. You ain't in the truth. You're aware of the truth. It's time to examine yourselves. You can't study by yourself. Somebody has to teach you. God didn't give y'all the understanding. The understanding didn't go to the woman. Adam was given the understanding. He was given wisdom. He taught Eve. But Eve, like a lot of y'all with that spirit today, you want to know something that you ain't meant to know yet. And I want to read it for myself, and I want to see for myself. No, it wasn't designed to be that way. Somebody has to teach you. Y'all got to learn to accept counsel. Because this is what leads to y'all foolishness. You want to tell yourselves. You want to lean on your own understanding. Somebody has to teach you. And you have to be taught again. You got to get the milk before you get the meat. But some of y'all, you trying to chew on meat when you ain't even got basic 101 shit down. You don't know the basics. Me and her sister was talking because she had a question about Northern Kingdom versus Southern Kingdom. She didn't understand it. That shows that you need milk, sister. That's a basic concept. Because without that without understanding that, you ain't even gonna understand the New Testament. So all of the reading by yourself and studying by yourself don't mean shit. All you're doing is reading words. You're not getting any understanding. You got to be weaned off the breast. That means somebody has to do that. There's a process. You're not ready for your own studying on your own yet, beyond the basics, because you don't have the understanding, sisters. And you want to argue and debate with your limited understanding. And you get frustrated and you get emotional. And then you get clamorous. You're foolish, loud, and stubborn. You're not in the truth. You're aware of the truth. Your countenance says everything about you. Because I looked at y'all's pictures. Two sisters who had their countenance together. Two, out of two dating groups, two had their countenance together that I saw. And I'm just looking for one picture. Most of y'all with these tight dresses, your cleavage is out. I saw one chick, she was in her 50s, had her damn titties out. Got the nerve to be on an Israelite dating group at 50-something years old with her titties out. What is wrong with y'all? And then you want to blame men. Y'all been in charge for the last 50 years. Y'all was the boss. You got to take responsibility, because ultimately, as a boss, you are accountable for the decisions and choices that you made. Y'all are getting married now at a 25% rate. When y'all took over the community, you were getting married. Before y'all took over, we were getting married at an 80% rate, or 80, or almost 90%. 90% of our children were born to married couples. Now that y'all have taken over, all of those numbers have gotten worse. Nothing has gotten better. 25%, do you not understand that number? You got a better chance of flipping a fucking coin. You're not meeting probability. So that's not natural. That means you're actively working against your own best interest. You're actively doing it. Everything y'all doing that you think you're so smart on, results don't lie. Your result is 25%, and it's getting worse. If you keep up at this rate, you're going to be down to 10% soon. Can't blame that on black men, because we get married at a rate of 51% and are childless. And we earn more money than y'all. We don't have no help, none of the advantages that y'all have. There's programs for y'all left and right, even in those of y'all without kids. Y'all figured out, y'all sisters without kids, all I got to do is scream domestic violence. They don't check into it. All they do is take your word for it. And they put you in programs that pay your rent and put you in a house for 2 years and pay your utilities because you scream domestic violence with no proof. There's all kind of programs for y'all. There's none for us. Even when we have kids, there are no programs. Youth and Family Services is it shouldn't even have that name. It's not Family Services. It's Youth and Women's Services. Because when the man has the kids, they don't deal with the man. They only deal with women and children. Y'all have all kind of advantages. And what have y'all done with it? Made your shit worse. You got less than what you had before. We need to get rid of social services. We need to get rid of it because it's not helping us. We need to throw the whole system out. And then y'all be forced to deal with us. It's going to happen one way or the other. It's time for you sisters to wake up. We're tired. We're tired of arguing with y'all. See, what y'all fail to realize, we can make black babies without y'all. Y'all need us to make black babies. The seed follows the man. We can make black babies with anybody. That's what y'all don't realize. We want to be with y'all. We commanded to be with y'all. We're trying to be with y'all. But y'all fucking up. That's why most of y'all are going to die. And die alone. Because you won't repent. You refuse to come to order. It's time, sisters. The debate is over. Y'all lost. Black men, know your worth. Stop dealing with them. They don't want to come to order, cut them off. Stop dealing with them. And I do want to shout out y'all sisters who have come to order, because there are a few of y'all out there. I saw a couple of them, like I said, about 3 of them out of the many I looked on them dating sites. I saw a couple. And y'all putting yourselves in order. Now, we appreciate y'all. And to y'all, daughters of Sarah, we say shalom. Holla at your boy. Like and share.